Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Repitch. I'm your host David with my co-host Richard,
Hey guys.
and today we're gonna be talking about a new movie, or new movie that came out this year, The Batman.
Yeah, I finally watched it, David. I finally watched
Finally,
it on HBO.
yes. So, I mean, initial thoughts. You liked it? You didn't like it?
You know, when it came out in theaters, I didn't watch it because I was busy with life and etc. I got stuff going on, and I know you watched it, and I asked you, David, like, hey, what did you think about this movie? And what you said to me was super interesting. Like, you said Batman fans like this movie, something in that tone, right?
Yeah,
If you're a Batman fan, then you'll love this movie,
right.
and I freaking love this movie. Like, I'm putting it out there, David. I think this is the best Batman portrayed movie out there.
Agreed. Okay.
I think what's the guy's name?
Robert Pattinson.
Thank you. Robert Pattinson is the best Batman we've seen on screen.
Interesting.
Yeah. We're gonna talk more about that though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought.
Now, for me, I went back and forth because like you said, I saw it in theaters. My initial reaction was not a fan.
Really? Okay.
That was my initial, but not in the sense of like I saw exactly what they were doing with it, and I really appreciated it and I liked it. But I think at that moment, at that time, I think I was expecting, Batman, like that crime fighting Batman.
Yeah.
Now I came to appreciate it actually more recently. Being in the plane in a hotel in Seattle, I had the time to just kind of pass to watch it.
Nice.
So, but watching it the second time, I think I was able to like appreciate it a lot more, and I saw deeper into it than initially. And yeah, there's a lot of good things, and like you said, this was a very, very different Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen a Bruce Wayne like this ever.
No, this is like he's been Batman for only like 2 years. You could still see he's trying to figure it out, and like, but I'm a huge Batman fan. He's probably one of my top 2 favorite superheroes, and this is the first time we ever see him as a detective.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be DC's greatest detective, one of the greatest detectives.
Right.
And we never seen that in the live action movies. Like, we kind of see it in Christopher Nolan, but like it's very BS. Like, oh, he took a gun out and he figured out it's a thumbprint and he figures out this random person. Like, it's not really, but like this is the first time you really see Batman trying to solve a clue, and like you see how smart he is, and it's really fun.
Yeah, and I agree. Like I completely agree. I think that's why I think the second time I watched it, like you said, you're mentioning about the Nolans. The big difference between these two movies is this new one, the Batman, strips away the whole sci-fi factor out of Batman that Nolan has. I think Nolan movies are great. Of course, you can't take what they did for superhero movies is amazing, but as a Batman movie, it was more sci-fi than, like you said, than crime solving. He was crime fighting than crime solving. Like,
to be honest, David, I don't know if I've ever voiced this to you.
Yeah.
I am not the biggest fan of the Christopher Nolan movies, Batman movies.
I mean, I think you've mentioned it, except
okay, but 2 is great. What's his name? Who's Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, my man crush. Love him. Passed away way too soon. Yep. He carried that movie.
Absolutely.
Like, he's so good. Like, I don't think we will get a Joker that captivating, that culturally captivating in a long time.
No, absolutely not.
But like you said before, like the first and the third movie, I really was not the big, especially the third movie. I thought it was so disappointing. Like I might have to repitch the Christopher Nolan's third Batman movie because I like low-key hated it.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing. I felt like it could have gone many different directions.
Yeah.
But again, I think we should pay our respects to get back into The Batman.
Yeah. So, the director, Matt Reeves.
Yep.
This is my first Matt Reeves movie. Like, I've
really?
heard. Yeah. I mean, he's directed, correct me if I'm wrong, both the Planet of the Apes movies.
Yes.
He's done, what else has he done? Some amazing. What's some,
Let me bring up the list here.
and like
So,
I've been told
like
people tell me that like he is
Cloverfield,
not
all of the Planet
Cloverfield.
of the Apes movies. Those are like his big movies. I think he's done some TV here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
But yeah, like
No,
I've heard like he has not done anything. Like almost everything he touches is gold.
I think he does it in a very. He's an auteur, I guess you could
Oh,
say.
he
Like
is. Yeah.
the way that he presents his films, the way that he does it, approaches it. I think he does it in a very old school manner
Yeah.
with
And
new school
it
tech.
feels like that.
Yeah.
It really does feel like that. Like, I mean, last week we talked about a 90s movie and how it's like quote unquote simpler times and it's very straightforward, but like it's captivating. And somehow this kind of does feel that old schoolness where like there's a bad guy, there's a crime,
Mm-hmm.
there's a riddle that he needs to be solved. He needs to find out who the bad guy is before it's too late. And it's simple, but like it really draws you in. It's so good.
Yeah.
But I think before we talk about the good, because we could keep talking about the good stuff forever. I want to save that towards the end.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some things that we weren't the biggest fan of.
I will say
I don't have that much.
Yeah, there's not too much. Number one
Yeah.
factor for me was definitely the length of the movie. I think
David, you know how I feel about movies over 2
Exactly.
hours, 2 hours long.
Exactly.
Like it's how long is this? Like over 3 hours easily.
I think it's just under 3 hours, but it's definitely over like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But even with that, and for me, like I can do long movies. I love long movies. For some reason, it felt like a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Which is
There are a lot of establishing shots where a lot of slow, like Batman just walking in the dark. There's
Yeah.
a lot of it's not slow mo, but a lot of things that are like it's to build up the atmosphere,
Right,
but it's a
right.
lot of it.
And I get that, and I understand it, and that's why I like appreciate the way that Matt Reeves was doing it. You really get the sense of, he has a lot of inspiration for this particular movie, and one of them was obviously Zodiac. And,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and one, I couldn't help but notice. I had to compare the length of the movies for these. Zodiac was also like a 2.5 hour movie, but
That's the one with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
right?
Robert Downey Jr.,
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo. It was a pretty nice cast.
Yeah.
And but
That was an okay movie.
that movie though, for me, I think despite the length of it, it was very smooth for me. Like I was able to watch everything through without like really questioning, like, oh, when is this over? Like when are we getting to the end? It like was able to draw out that suspense for you.
Yeah, it's that movie Zodiac. It's not just 1 week; it's a couple of years.
Right?
goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for this Batman movie though, I think there are portions where, like you said, it kind of like felt dragged on. A lot of establishing shots, things like that.
Yeah, but like they're good though. It's not like I could cut
Right,
this out. I'm like,
no.
it's really nice.
So like
It's
that's
just-
what, yeah, like you said, like I completely understand why he had to keep it in there, why it is in there, and why the length is what it is.
and like I don't want to cut. I wouldn't want to cut anything out because like I had so much fun watching it. I kind of wish there was more, but like then I thought like, how great would it be if there was something like this quality of a show into a TV show like HBO Max series? Like how great would that be?
Oh, I think they're having plans to do it in that style. Like one of the things I've heard was actually trying to make a Penguin show.
Whatever. I don't know how I feel about that. Stop making shows that's not about freaking Batman. I don't understand what's wrong with Warner Brothers, but okay, go on. Yeah. But,
Yeah, they're just trying to milk out everything.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the other things
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like, I was iffy about. I can't really say it's a bad thing because I think she did a great job, but it was, I think, Zoe Kravitz as
Really?
Catwoman.
Okay.
Because I'm on the fence. I think she did. There's a lot of moments where I was like, oh, she's good. And then there's like very, very few moments where I'm like, I don't know. Was that, I felt like it wasn't fitting, like for her character or things like that. But again, I think otherwise, I'm just nitpicking now. but because like overall, I think she did a great job with what the story
yeah.
is, and the rest of the cast. I think she fit in well.
No, I mean, I completely disagree. I think she was a great counterpart for Batman. And, you know, I haven't seen her in a lot of things. I know she was in X-Men First Class and she was extremely forgettable there. Like I'll give you $20. And was she in what do you call it? The Harry Potter movie?
Not that I know of.
No, I'm thinking of someone else. But like, yeah, this is like one of the very few roles I've seen her in.
Yep.
I feel like, wow, she was as Catwoman. I mean, honestly, she did a better job than Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I'll give her that. That she definitely did that.
Oh yeah, and yeah. Do I have any other criticism for this movie?
Yep.
You know, one thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of. I mean, of course, guys, spoiler alert, because you know, of course, there's gonna be spoilers. One thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of was the head mafia boss.
Oh, Falcone.
Who played him? Who played
John
him?
Turturro. You didn't like him?
I kind of wish it was someone more menacing.
I get you. I feel you on that.
Because when I see that actor, all I see is the guy from Transformers 1 where Bumblebee pees on him. And I could not take him seriously.
This guy is a legendary actor. But I mean
that's all I see.
I totally understand you on that, because I feel like as a mob boss in this kind of movie, he has the approach with it. I think he does a good job with it. But you're right. I think somebody who needs to look the part a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who would have been really good at it? I would love to see, like, not Tom Petty, what the singer,
Tom Hardy? No, he's
no. Men in Black, Will Smith.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. No, Tommy Lee Jones. He's always the good guy. He's never the bad guy.
That's true,
but like,
that's true.
Like someone like really old school, like really like, oh man, like he's a band. Just like, I kind of wish that,
like a Joe Pesci type.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he's too short, but
exactly. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that kind of feeling. Robert De Niro, like a Robert De Niro type of person.
Like a strong, menacing, like a Jack Nicholson, or he's too crazy.
Yeah, like, but he's supposed to be like an old school mobster,
right?
And
exactly.
Like, I didn't really see that.
Gotcha.
You know, like, but it's like his death is supposed to spark on the Penguins, you know, new reign. But yeah, that's like my biggest like really, he's like the quote unquote bad guy in this. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Now, one other thing that I kind of like bothered me a little bit. Now, I couldn't also on the fence about, because I can see it go one way where okay, so the main thing is there's these instances where like Batman doesn't really solve the puzzle on his own. Okay. You know, like one in particular is when he has that tool, the tucker for the carpet.
Oh yeah, someone else
like, oh yeah, that's just a tucker. Like he's just saying, oh yeah, my uncle just happens to be this guy, and just kind of like that. And then and then another thing is like Alfred helps. That part is fine. But then if you're gonna, for me, I think that's one of the things. Like if you're gonna strip away like that whole sci-fi side of this, at least make Bruce Wayne the true detective that he's supposed to be. Yeah. Now, like whether he solves it on his own, like in a different way or something, I just wish it was more him. And like in those little things, like yeah.
Okay, I disagree. I feel like 90% he does. I mean, he doesn't. Like Jim Gordon helps him a lot. Like that's a point. Like the people around him are supposed to help him, and like.
But that's like you said, that's the other side of it. Like where it's like, oh, he's not like, you know, he's human. That's what it's showing. Like he's human. He's not this superhero or like, you know, superhuman guy who's gonna be able to accomplish everything. So like that's why I'm kind of just like
And again, he's been only Batman for like about like 2 years. Right. So like he's learning. He's still trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that bugged you? I mean, I think we're really entering.
No, yeah. Now we're nitpicking. But no, honestly, the biggest gripe is probably just the length.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's talk about the good stuff, because we can. Like, I really want us to marinate, soak in it, and just be like, oh gosh, this is definitely one of my favorite Batman movies. Like, I would watch clips of this movie. Like, for example, the clip where Batman is chasing down the Penguin.
Oh, that was
and the scene
cool.
where the fuel tank explodes and the Penguin thinks he escapes and the freaking Batmobile like what do you call it? Just it comes like
crashes through, like
soars over. I'm like, wow, I was stunned. Like a lot of Matt Reeves purposely it's a very wet film and there's a lot of red and like that red and orange was so good. And when Batman slowly walks up, I mean that's a weird trope. Like Batman does a lot of slow walking, which is kind of weird.
So, yeah,
but there were certain parts where like, yo, Batman, you're supposed to disappear. At a certain point, he did. I'm like the first scene we see him like the gangsters in the subway. This ninja, like Batman, just walking down steps. That was really awkward.
That was one of those things. I think when I first saw it in the theaters, when I saw that, I was like, "What is he doing?"
Exactly. but that's car chase scene was so good. It's like I felt like it was just giant, not middle finger, giant like. You know what? You people thought Batman vs Superman, that car chase was fun. Nah, this is so much more well done.
Right, and it's his equipment too. I think very
realistic.
Very realistic. He's pretty much using like a car and just he tuned it up himself. It looked like
oh yeah, for sure.
All those little things.
He's not going down to his what was Christopher Nolan's thing like. Oh, we have army design tickets in our basement, and no one else realizes that. Only one person in the entire company realizes that our military design thing looks exactly like Batman's car. Like that's ridiculous. Like whatever, but yeah.
No, like great. Also, like I was saying, I think what I appreciated was also like a lot of the sci-fi aspect was taken out of it. One cool thing they decided to do was like the contact lenses that he used.
Yeah, you could record it and you hear audio. That's really good. I like that.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Like in a very like torn down environment, there's still some way for Batman to be Batman. Yeah, in that way.
Because Batman needs his gadgets. Like
exactly.
I agree. Even the scene where he's jumping off the building. And
he's got the suit, like the flying suit.
And he flies out. It's basically, I don't know, like a parachute, kind of body parachute. And when he hits that bridge and he fails, I laugh. So I was in the airplane, David, I was also going to Seattle for work, and I was laughing so hard. It was like, I love it because like clearly he hasn't done this a lot of times and he mistimed it. Right. But like again, 2 years into Batman, and you see him failing, you see him messing up.
Right,
and I love
and
that.
you see the fear in his eyes a lot.
Oh yeah,
and that's I think that's the beauty of this Batman. Like you see him, like you said, it's trial and error for him.
Yeah,
he doesn't know really what to do, but he's taking the best steps he can. Yeah, I think one of the very good things I liked about this movie was the way they built Gotham, the way they represented Gotham. I thought this was the most real version of Gotham that I could feel.
I concur. Like I so agree. Like Christopher Nolan, it looked cool, but it's just Chicago. You legit just shot like Chicago.
Right. No, he just took the city but it didn't, because one of the things about Gotham was it's like a hellhole, like criminals everywhere. Like nobody wants to walk out at night. And you didn't really see that in Nolan's Gotham. But this one was like clearly like, oh, it's scary. Like you can't be walking by yourself anywhere. Like
Gotham is like its own character. It's its own person. It's like alive, and I totally agree. Like that's the first thing I thought. Like I do not want to live here.
Yeah,
just like oh man, I love that you brought that out. Like it really does feel like a Gotham, like this hopeless place. Like no matter what Batman does, it's still hell.
And it's so important for things like this, stories like this, to be able to establish that environment for us to like feel like we're in that story as well. Like, so I think another great thing that Matt Reeves was able to do for this, I think.
No, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before. Like, I love how he's trying to solve a crime. Like, and like the Riddler, honestly, Riddler, like from Batman's Rich Rogue Gallery, Riddler was always low tier for me. But like I know that in the comics he's like one of Batman's greatest villains.
Right.
He keeps Batman sharp. He's the one that makes him think. And like I love that the introduction to him, like this was like when people think of the Riddler, you can't help but think of Jim Carrey's quote unquote. That's gonna be in a couple of days, guys. We're gonna repitch that movie, Jim Carrey's Riddler, and he's just a cocky, insane man. That's very weird. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was great. Like, and I love, oh man, not the message. I love the idea of like, I love his backstory. Like, the reason he is inspired by Batman, and he's trying to save Gotham in his own corrupt, twisted way.
Right.
Where he's a poor orphan boy because of Batman's parents' death, but no one cared about him. That orphanage was forsaken, but everyone cared about Bruce Wayne because he was rich, and I love that.
Right. No, exactly. I think that whole idea of the story, two sides of the same coin type of thing. Oh, yeah. I thought they did a great job with it, and it was really fun to see Riddler use Batman in that way, like you said.
So good. Yeah.
Yep. And
really like make him feel like, no, like, yeah, again, he used him, and like Riddler had an upper hand. It was part of his plan the whole time.
Right. And it, like you said, it really brings out this character in a new light and a different way to really show you like what Batman's up against. And now that we also know that I think 2 more movies are coming out, and I'm excited, and just seeing how he did this first one, the world he built, and the villains that are around there. I think it's going to be so good.
We've heard and seen the Joker. I'm really excited.
I hope it's not. Sorry.
What's up?
I was going to say, like, did you happen to catch that the deleted scene with the Joker?
I saw a clip about it, but what was it about? What happens?
It's pretty much just more of the Joker. He's like in some interrogation room, and he's just kind of like talking. I forget what it was, but you see more of him, and he's going. He looks pretty scary. But
really? I can't wait, because like, I mean, granted, the Batman has a lot of rogue gallery, and I'd rather see other villains, like other bad guys. But I mean, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So another good point. I love the supporting actors in this, like Jim Gordon. Like, there was a huge controversy because they made him an African American person, but like, to be honest, David, like I love I love how Batman and Jim Gordon work together. It's like in the comics, and they work together. They solve crimes. They help each other out, and I love that. That was really good. I think. Yeah. Christopher Nolan's, what's his name? Who's Jim Gordon?
Gary Oldman.
Classic, amazing.
He does such a good job with that.
But I argue that I feel like this guy does the best job as who Jim Gordon really is.
It's different. It's very different. And I agree with you on that. I think Jeffrey Wright did such a good job with this.
So good.
Much more involved, engaged, and like he's in the mix with everything. Not to say that Gary Oldman's,
he's great.
He did his thing too. Like his character, even in the movies, he got his hands dirty here and there. But this one, you see Jim Gordon involved a lot more.
Definitely, I completely agree.
Like the whole scene where he's in the room, he's like, yo, you gotta punch me.
Like, I love that. Like, they're partnered, they're scheming together. Like, I love how they were using the bat signal to like. It's so good. Another person, oh my goodness, like the Penguin. Colin, what's his name?
Colin Farrell does a good job with that.
Yo, but Colin Farrell is just like heartthrob. People love him. He's just with the Irish brogue, and he's just great. How the heck did they take this gorgeous guy, change him into this ugly looking person, change his voice completely? He is unrecognizable, David.
That's why he's so good. I feel like he gets underrated a lot.
Oh, 100%. Like, I had to remind myself a couple of times. I'm like, yo, that's Bullseye from Daredevil. Yeah. I had to remind myself. I'm like, whoa, that's literally like amazing. He was great. And like, his character was like, I can't wait to see him more in other movies.
Right. Yeah, like him step up a little bit more.
Yeah. Amazing. Clearly, you're gonna see him like take over the empire, and like, I don't know how I feel about watching a TV show just about him, because we said that earlier in the episode. I think that's crap. I'd rather just see Batman and just stick with that.
Actually, What are your thoughts on Andy Serkis as Alfred?
Solid. No complaint. To be honest, David, my Alfred will always be the 90s Alfred, the really old white guy. I don't know his name. Like,
Yeah.
he'll always be my Alfred. Like, he needs to be British and like great, but like he wasn't. I didn't hate him.
He gets younger and younger every movie.
I know exactly. Yeah. They're automating him right now.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think Andy Serkis did a great job.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of like reserved because Andy Serkis, he looks like a kind of rugged guy, like, you know.
Oh,
So I was like, you
yeah.
know, I thought like, you know, Alfred, a little bit more like Michael Caine, but I think this version of Alfred also, how he taps into like he helps Batman solve all these problems and solve all these riddles and like solve all these cases.
And yeah, you see how he cares about him too. It's like, oh, you really should be doing this. Gives him food, make sure he's eating.
Right.
Actually acting like a butler and not like a sassy person. But I mean, he's sassy, but like, yeah, like I love that.
No,
It's good.
I like him as Alfred, and I'm excited to see more.
Oh yeah. What did you think about? But it's like one of the big like quote unquote plot twists is that Bruce Wayne's father is like corrupt, sort of.
Mm,
Because I feel like derails from the Batman like comics and movies. So it's very different. I can see a lot of comic book fans like, oh, I don't like that. Like,
Right.
Batman's
no,
But
I get it.
what did you think?
I thought for what this movie is,
Yeah.
it plays into it. Plays
Oh,
into the whole idea of like corruption and, you know, this how like it's
I'm sorry, I was thinking about something before. I'll tell you in a bit. Yeah.
but like it plays into the whole story for this particular movie, and I think it fits. I have no issues with it. It, like you said, it plays into this whole idea of like nobody's perfect anymore. Like,
Exactly. And I love even the most quote unquote noble man can be corrupted because Gotham is his hellhole.
right? No, and like that idea of, you know, a man will do anything for his family type of thing.
And that's great. And I love that. And what's so good is that I'm so glad we don't have to see his parents get shot. Because like I feel like every single Batman movie, we see them coming out of theater, getting shot, and the pearl necklace flying, and
Yep.
boo-hoo, sad boy. Like I'm so glad we did not want to watch an Uncle Ben have to die. We don't have to see Bruce Wayne's parents. Like, we get it. We know it. Let's move on. Yeah. Oh, the action, David. Like, to be honest, you know, I know. I forgot who's Batman again. I'm really bad. You know, I'm terrible at names.
This Batman, Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson. Yes. Like, when I first heard his casting, I know he's a great actor. I know he can act it, but I'm like, do I see him like fighting well? But like and the thing that shut me up real quick was that trailer. It's the opening scene where he is just beating up that gangster and he's just knocking him out senseless. I'm like, never mind. He got it. And there's some like, oh man, he is like decimating people. Like the final act when he's on top of the sky thingy and like he's beating up the terrorists. It's like, yeah, he's like, it's not too much where it's cheesy, but like it's realistic enough. Like, yeah, this guy will knock you out.
Yeah, like you feel it, like him when he's going crazy.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I really liked actually, towards the end of the movie when he's on like the whole railing, he's fighting all those different Riddler guys.
Yeah.
But he's knocked out. He gives himself, I guess, that like adrenaline.
I thought it was at the Venom serum. It was green. And I was thinking, is that the Venom serum?
I mean, it could be, but like, there's no mention of that in the movie or anywhere, right? So so I just assumed it was like adrenaline, but like at that same time, I was like, oh, like how real is this? Like this is a human, you know, like doing this, and he needs more energy, so he needs to do this. Like we've never seen.
He legit took a shotgun blast to the chest a second before, and he passes. Like anybody will pass out. But yeah, I agree. Like you feel his exhaustion.
Yeah.
You feel tired.
So like it plays into the whole realism of this as much as it can.
So good. Love this movie. It's realistic but faithful to this thing, which is such a hard line to tread.
Yeah, agreed.
I really like this movie, David.
It was a good movie. I see a lot of the inspirations in it. I mean, obviously, some of the movies that inspired Matt Reeves obviously were like Seven, Zodiac.
Oh yeah.
All the President's Men, The Godfather, Chinatown, all these like classic like gangster movies for sure. And actually, a lot of the inspiration behind Bruce Wayne, I think he was saying, was very Kurt Cobain-ish.
Oh yeah.
And you could see that for sure. Like the style, like the grunge, the whole feel of the movie for sure.
Yeah, so it's great. Question. I know. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to drag this out for too long. I want to keep it short for the audience members. You said there's other two movies. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see Batman fighting?
Actually, I was going to ask you that too. Oh, wait. You know, we're going to talk about the numbers for this movie. You think that matters anymore?
No, it's a great movie. I know it's great.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you numbers how good this movie did. And remember, this movie came out straight to streaming a month later.
Yeah.
So box office wise, total, it did 767 million.
Yeah.
Budget was just over 200. And then opening weekend was about 134. And it did well both internationally and domestically. It did a little bit better internationally, actually.
Oh, really?
It
Interesting.
Raked in about 398 million. Domestic was about 369 million. So
great movie. Like, yeah.
Yes. But back to that question. What do I want to see? Like,
who is one villain that you want to see? Let's just do one. I don't no list. One villain.
One villain.
Maybe it's someone we already seen and you want to see revamped. Who is this? Not the Joker, but that's an easy answer.
I definitely gotta see. I want to see them tackle. I think Matt Reeves is a guy who can do this. The Court of Owls.
Oh, you. Okay, go on. Yes, you jerk. So for our audience, what are the Court of Owls?
They're pretty much a secret society within Gotham City. Whole lot of history. They're pretty much like the founding core group or like something like that. They're like the founders of like Gotham.
They're like the Illuminati.
Yeah,
they've been there since the beginning.
But that's probably a better way of describing them. The Illuminati of Gotham, and to the point where it's so scary because Batman, you know, he's got an ear in everything in Gotham, but this is that one group that he doesn't know about. So that says a lot about how tight their group is and how like scary this group can be. So it'd be fun to see Batman. Of course, this has got to be a veteran Batman going up against
maybe
that.
like year 10, year 5.
Another one, I guess, if he's trying to push the envelope, I would like to see Bane get a.
Bane, 100 agree. Like, to be honest, what's his name? Who did the Bane in Christopher
Tom
Nolan?
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. He's a great actor.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say he's not.
Yeah.
Could not understand a word he said. I was so disappointed. But yes.
Yeah.
Why Bane?
I feel like he needs a redemption, first of all. And I'll say this about Dark Knight Rises. The idea that they were trying to do with Bane, where like he's a criminal mastermind, I think that's been missed a lot. And I think that can be done really well in Matt Reeves' Batman.
I completely agree. Like, he's supposed to be one of Batman's smartest villains. That's also that could break his back. And yeah, we've never seen that fully.
I don't know if Matt Reeves will. It's kind of tough to like try to tackle these next villain, like guys like Two-Face.
I could see the Court of Owls.
Court of Owls.
I could see that.
I could see that too.
That'd be great.
I think that's got to be a build up though.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know who I would see?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Clayface.
Oh, interesting. Now that's like, so I was wondering that, like, do you think Matt Reeves is going to start treading into that direction?
To like Batman's weird animal.
Like how is he gonna explain in his world that a Clayface creature is coming up?
I feel like you could. Like, it doesn't have to be a giant muck. It should be, but like even a person that could like hide his face. Like, the point of him is like he's supposed to be this, failed actor that became a villain. Like, I'd love to see that. Just like, how is Batman gonna trust anyone if this bad guy could turn into one of his closest friends, confidants? I mean, we've never seen him in live action.
Yeah, we've never. It'd be fun.
I'd love to see how he does. I mean, yeah, but Court of Owls, David, that was my first one, but you took that from me. Because that'd be great. Fun note: one of my most cherished items I have is a comic book, Court of Owls, written by Scott Snyder. I have a signature from him.
Oh, nice!
I have a signed copy from him, and like
Very nice.
One of my favorite storylines.
It is. I think it's one of the best, next
So
to like
good.
Hush and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
What about Deathstroke? You think they've got room for that, or you think this world is a little bit too, it's a little different for that?
I feel like I don't know if Matt Reeves gonna film the other two movies, they want to do something like long paced, slow. Like, it has to be like drawn out. It's like Court of, like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be like not a mystery, but like, okay, like more deeper.
Right.
Like Deathstroke, he's just fighting.
I'm pretty sure Matt Reeves is doing the next two.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I can't see like him. Nobody's gonna copy the same tone.
No,
like
never.
they wouldn't be able to do that without him.
No. Do you think? I mean, I want to talk about this in a couple of days when we talk about Batman, but do you think there's gonna be a Robin?
I was just thinking that. So I was wondering if Matt Reeves is gonna dip into that side of Batman, like if he's gonna pick up a sidekick.
I don't think you could. Like, even in the comic books, like, but the current quote unquote Batman is his son Damian Wayne, but you don't really see them in adventures together anymore.
Right.
Even today's world, like, why would a full grown man take a child out, and how would you justify that?
Right.
To not comic book fans, we've already like have Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
Like, new people, like, what, like, especially in this hellhole of a world. Why would you bring a child into a fight, dressing him in bright costume, like, and not make it look weird?
We'll find some way.
I don't know. But yeah, David, anything else you want to add in before we start wrapping up?
Anything else? No, I think, just overall, very good movie. Took me 2 tries to get into it, but
yeah,
I definitely appreciate it a lot more and can't wait to see what else is going to be happening for this series.
Definitely. David, where can our wonderful audience members find us?
Well, you guys can always find us on our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube now. Just look for Repitch Podcast. If you guys also have any type of comments, you guys like us, don't like us, you guys have any suggestions or topic suggestions, you guys can shoot us an email at repitchpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and tune in a couple of days because I'm going to try my best to repitch Batman Forever.
Yes. Also,
Classic.
Sorry, just before we go, big shout out to Joe Yoo, as always, for just with the sound editing and helping us out with this.
So to wrap up our episode, I wanna say a quote from this movie. So this is from our very own Batman. Our scars can destroy us even after the physical wounds have healed. But if we survive them, they can transform us. They can give us the power to endure and the strength to fight. This is a quote from Batman.
Nice. I thought you were going to pick Vengeance.
Oh, that was so good what he said. Oh, come on, gosh. All right. Let's stop. We've gone way over.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.
All right. See you guys later.